Okay, welcome once again, everybody. It is Friday, February 2nd. It is Groundhog Day. Okay, welcome, everybody. It is Friday, February 2nd, Groundhog Day. Okay, welcome, everybody. Gotcha. Welcome, everybody. This is our little soiree. Conspiracy or Not, Here We Come. I'm with Bart. Hey, Gandalf finally made it. We have Nils Ottensen with us. We've got Gandalf the White. As usual, Bart and Amy, hello and welcome, everybody. This is our little soiree. Conspiracy or Not, Here We Come. I'm with Bart. Hey, Gandalf finally made it. We have Nils Ottensen with us. We've got Gandalf the White. As usual, Bart and Amy, hello and welcome, everybody. This is our little soiree. Conspiracy or Not, Here We Come. I'm with Bart.
Oh, dear.
That's funny.
It's really Groundhog Day, yeah?
There we go. It's over.
It's going to do this all night.
Oh, dear.
Gandalf.
Hello to the wokest people on the internet.
How you doing, Gandalf?
Pretty good, man. Fuck, yeah, we just started up something on Truth Undenied channel just like about 2 weeks ago.
Yeah, you guys brought back the We'll Do It Live.
Yeah, I wasn't around for the We'll Do It Live when it was originally airing. I just found out about it, actually.
Let me ask you a question. You've been on with us once before, right?
I think I was on like 2 or 3 times, maybe like a year, more than almost 2 years ago now, man.
Yeah, we've been at it for a little more than 2 years now. So yeah, I did seem to have a memory of you from a while back, and it's great to reconnect with you. And Nils, as usual, great to reconnect with you. Thanks, you guys, for hanging out with us.
Yeah,
Absolutely.
thank you for having me on.
Thank you so much.
I have, as usual, pages of notes. I've got a shitload of things to go over, and I suspect we may not get to all of them. We will be joined with our friend Mark from Global Agenda, maybe in about an hour or two. He's got some things to do, and he'll be coming in the second half of the show. I want to remind people that we need to get Bart, we need to get his subscription count up to 100 so that he can host live stream shows when we need him to. Right now, Amy is still in the penalty box. So if you guys haven't already, please go to Bart's channel and subscribe to his channel. I dropped the link in the top of the Hangout chat. Actually, we'll get Amy to go ahead and drop a fresh one now that I just mentioned it, and that there are now more people in the chat already, 11 or so people watching right now. So if you haven't subscribed to Bart's channel, please go subscribe to Bart's channel so we can get his number up to 100, and that way when we need him to, he can. Thank you, James. Got another one, Bart. So
All right.
when we need him to, Bart can out of town, or just in case I get a strike or whatever. So so there it is. Amy dropped a fresh link, and if you guys haven't done so, please go subscribe to Bart. Thank you. I've got tons of shit to go over. Let me just throw a couple of these headlines out of the way, and then we can get into the meat of some of these other things that I want to talk about. And Gandalf, if you have something you want to bring up in particular, feel free to do so. And Nils, he wanted to add his 2 cents into some of the topics we're going to go over. So first on the agenda here, the Dow Jones took a shit today. It's dropped 682 points. And if I'm not mistaken, you guys correct me if I'm wrong, the last time the Dow dropped 700 points almost, right, was the 2008 crash. 700-point drop in one day, the last time I remember. So that was nearly 10 years ago that we had that large of a drop. And if I'm wrong, somebody can, anybody that watches the Dow more often than I do. Apparently the memo was released today, and it seems like it's, I mean, I haven't really, dug into it too far myself. I haven't had a whole lot of time today, but from what I've heard from a few people that have already been looking at it, some people are blowing it out of proportion. Some people are saying it's a big nothing burger, that it doesn't reveal anything, but it does, however, confirm what we've already really known about deep state corruption, FBI corruption. And I don't know if you guys follow Sean over at SGT Report, but I'm starting to wonder about that guy. I mean,
well,
go ahead.
Ruth, I just want to chime in and say this whole memo reminds me a lot of the whole QAnon thing, which was proven just to be a big LARPing fest over on 4chan.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I think this is like, it's like Alex Jones. He's been pushing this QAnon thing and this memo as well. And it seems like it's just this, it's kind of like a dog bone that Trump's thrown to his followers online.
Well, Gandalf, I'm not sure if you've heard me say this, but I have coined a term, breadcrumbs for truthers, or breadcrumbs for truth seekers. And I get the feeling that that's what all this stuff is. And I don't particularly follow the QAnon very closely, although I do listen to people who do. And I try to get a feel, sort of crowdsourcing that way. But I don't consume myself with reading QAnon posts and chasing rabbit holes, and I don't appreciate being led by the nose. But I am sort of loosely from the sidelines paying attention to what's happening with QAnon. And I almost titled, not last week, I was going to talk about QAnon, and I almost thought of titling the show QAnon and on and on and on and on.
Yes.
Basically.
Because, I mean, look, he's been bragging about all these things that are supposed to be happening, like indictments. I mean, all these supposed sealed indictments. Who's actually been indicted? I don't know who's actually been indicted. Who's going to trial? Who's going to jail? What's actually happening? Is anything happening?
Well, nothing seems to be happening at all at this point. It's all just Alex Jones, how he likes to call himself the tip of the spear, is basically just, that's a military intelligence term. And Alex Jones is just pushing, if anyone still even believes anything that the whole InfoWars crowd and all their associates are pushing, like, they're all working for, I don't know if they're on a payroll or they just figure that they're going to be making more money off peddling stuff to Republicans than just conspiracy theorists. But they're on the pay, they're working for the establishment at this point, and they're pushing this whole QAnon just like they pushed the Pizzagate bullshit from a year ago.
There are several channels that are pushing the QAnon really, really hard. SGT, Sean over there is one of them, and as most people who follow Sean know, that he's a strong Trump supporter. He's a rabid anti-Hillary proponent, I suppose. Sean kind of bothers me with every opportunity that guy gets, but don't get me wrong, I hate Hillary too.
Oh, we all do.
But every single opportunity this guy has, he just bashes Hillary the witch, Hillary the witch, Hillary the witch. And it's like he'll title his video one thing, and then he'll spend 90% of his time in that video just talking shit about Hillary. So starting to get a little annoying for me, pushing the QAnon stuff, which it to me is a big nothing burger and a zealot for Trump. And I'm about to unsubscribe from Sean, but he does occasionally, I don't know. I don't like to unsubscribe from people just I usually need a couple of reasons before I do.
I have an issue with anybody that can't see that the Hillary and the Trump stuff is all just a play.
Bingo.
You know, it's like if they can't see that, they're not deep enough in the rabbit hole. You know?
I think it was Press for Truth or Red Pill Revolution or somebody put together a video that highlighted something like 40, 50, 60 different people surrounding Trump, from supporters to campaign managers, on and on and on, donors, and they're all Zionists, like every single one of them. And the whole video is like 20 minutes long. It's nothing but a list of people, their titles, and what they're doing for Trump. Ashkenazi Jew, just it's shocking. So, I mean, anybody who likes Trump, I hope you like Israel, because that's what you got.
Well, it wouldn't matter which puppet they put in there.
Right.
You know, it's all going for them.
Well, it's pretty funny at this point how fast everything switched with Trump, where he came in as this huge protectionist, you know, rebuild the infrastructure, end the wars. And he just did a pivot 180, and it just ended all that, and it was pro-war. Let's bomb Assad based off of these false chemical weapons claims that were coming in. And then you had all of his supporters just turn into neocons overnight.
Yes.
That was mind-boggling how that all went down.
Well, he does appear to have accomplished. Go ahead, Nils. Please go ahead.
But Trump is an actor, you know. He's been acting all his life.
Right.
The world is a stage, you know. It's just an act. And the Syria deal, you know, it's Act 2, you know, because the Russians is just training their troops. That's what Syria is about.
Yeah.
The ISIS army is supported by America and NATO, so he can train his troops in real life conditions.
Yeah, like you look at how far gone the Syrian situation is now. They're coming up with chemical weapons claim after chemical weapons claim, and Syria is now actually starting to fix itself. Underneath the Russian Air Force umbrella, the Syrian army's actually retaken, I think it's about 70% of Syria now, and it's almost over, and that's why they're freaking out. That's why the Turks are going in. It's just to prolong the conflict. Like, no war since the 1950s has ever been about territory. It's been about just making money for the military-industrial complex.
That's a side effect. That's an ancillary benefit. Making money for the military-industrial complex is only a benefit along the way. The ultimate goal with every maneuver these people are up to is world government. Everything they do is one more step towards world government. Everything.
Yep.
And you see how close they are now. You know, the Americans basically control the UN. So many nations, a lot of nations did vote against them in the new resolution only about 2 months ago, but most are just afraid, and most abstained, like Canada and Mexico, France, like all these countries just abstain from even voting against the states. It's like absolutely crazy at this point.
Well, I only caution how much faith we put into reports about who's doing what and why they're doing it. Again, I don't like being led by the nose. The breadcrumb for truther concept for me is always in the forefront of my mind. And I'll get, this FISA memo is a perfect example. A lot of people are waking up, and there are different levels of being awake, right? People who normally don't pay attention to politics are now paying attention to politics, and they think they're awake because they're paying attention, and they've got a little inside this and they understand that. But the fact is that if you're paying attention, if you're buried in this FISA report, if you're buried in the QAnon stuff, then you've lost the picture.
Yeah,
you're lost. If that's all you're doing is ignoring mainstream news, listening to alternative news, you're lost.
But now it's gotten to the point, Roof, where so much of the alternative media seems to be controlled, and it's just these ridiculous, like you're talking about, the memo, like the Pizzagate, all these artificial stories that there's truth to them, but most of it's just pure bullshit. The Pizzagate thing was a complete distraction from the Franklin cover-up, which is real.
Yes. Very much so.
Well, like Bill Cooper says, listen to everyone, read everything, and believe nothing until you can prove it for yourself.
How much we need someone like Bill Cooper now.
But it's very important to use logic, because if you see at the world stage now, Putin is hailed like a hero, you know, in all media, you know. It's just like, it's crazy. And Erdogan in Turkey, he was the main man to fund ISIS, you know. All his family was helping him on this project. And now he's best buddies with Putin. So you can see clearly that all this is just stage show. And, but you need to ask why? Why do Putin need to train his troops? For what?
For World War III.
Yes.
But against who?
I don't know. It could be against NATO. It could be against America. It could be East against West. It could be East Asia against Oceania. You know, from the 1984 movie, right? It could be anything.
Yeah.
Hey, sorry, everybody. Hey, Aaron, on-highlight me. I think my silent, ugly mug has been highlighted for the whole show, and I'd like to. Oh. Yeah. Let's have the.
Yep. I got to highlight you to do the intro. I keep forgetting to undo that.
Yeah. Groundhog's Day.
Yep.
All right. Well, I don't know if this was done on purpose, like on purpose on accident, but the Nazca lines in Peru just got fucked up the other day. Somebody drove a big ass truck over and damaged a portion of the Nazca lines. Have you heard that?
Oh, I hadn't heard that. But how
so sad. Yeah.
I'm just hearing that now. That really is bullshit. Jesus.
Yeah, it's actually super messed up. In fact, I might just do a quick screen share just to show you guys the picture.
Well, you see how since all this information's come out about the Nazca lines, people know about it. I guess if you look at Göbekli Tepe, if they didn't bury that 13,000 years ago, who knows, there'd probably be nothing left of that by now.
Yeah, that's a good point.
Good thing they did bury that.
Well, like I said, I don't know if they did it on purpose or on accident. And when I say on purpose, you know, we were talking about ISIS, and ISIS isn't really an organic thing. It's created by America and Israel, and ISIS was blamed for going around Iraq and some other areas in the Middle East and destroying some of the old Babylonian statues.
Oh, yeah.
It's like piece by piece by piece, our human history is being wiped away.
Yeah, they blew up all kinds of stuff in Palmyra. They were wiping out stuff in northern Iraq. You know, they were dynamiting ancient Assyrian sculptures. That the thing about ISIS, which is completely crazy, these ancient monuments have been in the Middle East for 4,000 years, and Islam started roughly about like 1,300, 1,400 years ago. During the high point of the Islamic culture, when there was the caliphs and they had the Muslim empire, they never touched these structures. They never touched any of it. But these maniacs today go and destroy them.
Yeah, they do it under the auspice of, you know, their religious beliefs. And then the rest of the world, obviously, there's nothing that any of us can do about it.
I think that the religious beliefs thing is a cover.
That's that's why I said the auspice.
Yes.
It's ostensibly that's the reason. So if you're one of those people who just barely starting to wake up and pay attention to these things, you look at that and you go, oh, what a fucking shame. But what you don't realize is that ISIS is Israel in America. So they did it under the orders of somebody from Israel in America.
Yep.
And they did it for a reason. I mean, ISIS does what they're told because they're a creation. They're our baby.
Oh, yeah.
So they do what they're told. So basically, we're the ones that told them to do this. So in other words, if you want to wake up, you need to realize, and I'm not speaking to the panel. I know you guys know this. You just got to realize that this is part of our quote unquote master's plan, and that is to piece by piece just completely destroy all of our human history.
Yes, I think so.
Yeah, and institute this artificial consumerist culture that they want to push on everyone. It's
like, I don't know if you remember or know about this, but like right after the Iraq War was initiated, when we went into Iraq and we got Saddam Hussein out.
Oh, yeah.
The Baghdad Museum was looted.
Yeah, they ransacked it.
Yep.
Tens of thousands of cuneiform tablets disappeared.
And Gilgamesh.
Yeah, it's absolutely insane the amount of destruction that the United States itself has been responsible for perpetrating on humanity. You know, like look at all these cultures that they've destroyed, like the things they've created. Like go back to like even the Khmer Rouge in Cambodia. That was because of the United States.
So I assume you guys can see this picture.
Oh yeah.
Those are some pretty heavy tracks. And I looked at that and I thought, how the hell did that even happen? Those are deep. And who in their right mind would drive out there? There's no roads out there. You would be the only person in a vehicle who's ever driven out there. Why would you even bother? And somewhere
that is looking like that is looking like tracks from a military vehicle.
Well, right, I think it's near the end. Let me see if I can find it. It's down here, maybe.
Yeah, it looks like a semi-truck or a bulldozer.
It was a semi.
Oh God.
It was a. I wonder if I can find a better. Where did it go? I saw another. Somebody else.
Maybe they're going to build something cool there.
An amusement park, maybe.
The new Nazca lines.
Yeah, the new Nazca lines.
Under construction, yeah.
I wonder if I can find it. It was a huge. It was literally an 18-wheeler that drove. That's what caused those. I wonder if I can get a Google search to pick it up.
But the tracks, they look like they have a tractor pattern, you know. I have the same on my car on my summer wheels, you know. It's to drive out in so loose sand, you need to have a good vehicle, you know. You can't use a normal car. It need to be four-wheel drive with a good four-wheel driver. Or you would be stuck in the sand.
Yeah, that's what doesn't make sense. You'd figure a semi-truck will get stuck in the sand out there in the middle of nowhere.
Yeah, it will be stuck. It look like military tracks, you know, from a Humvee, you know, or this new one. What is called? This new model they have, you know.
Yeah, I agree.
It's very wide tracks and it's very wide wheels, so it's a big four-wheel driver, you know. And deep tracks, so it's be heavy too, you know.
Yeah.
So a semi-truck, you know, a semi-truck is just a repeat from Belgium, you know. It's just, or Germany. It's just, you know. Yeah, this one. But you see it's single-wheel tracks. It's not double-wheel tracks.
Oh my God.
In the desert. This one have double wheels back. In the back.
I have to pop this in. This just came into the chat. For World Peace says, is driving over an ancient line a ticketable offense?
That's in Peru, right? Hopefully the Peruvian government has anti-destruction or some kind of crazy law they must have on the books, hopefully.
One would hope, indeed.
Throw this guy away. Hopefully nobody else pulls this off. This is like basically ISIS kind of tactics, crazy like maniac type shit.
Yeah, who would even be out there in that truck?
A paid man. A man paid to do it. No one else.
Yes. No one would do that organically. I agree.
Jeez.
But who flies over there anyway? It's a desert, you know. It's just, you know, it's just one more of the same attack, you know. Here in Norway, they want to have all these tractor trailers automated without driver. So this is the same, you know. Same
That's
shit,
a good point.
Yeah, it's just the same. They don't have any fantasy at all. They just need to use a truck all the time, you know. Drive into a crowd, you know. Let the police like in France, in Nice, you know. The police had a big barricade there, and they was letting this trailer truck in.
Yeah.
It was standing and waiting for hours to get in. It's just, you know, crazy. So now it's ruining the Nazca lines, you know. It's just.
See, now you can see that there's a road, a main road, and then there's a side road that actually cuts across. And then you can see these tire tracks here. You can see my mouse, my pointer. Look at these tracks right here. Who the fuck would do this? Look at these tracks over here.
What a stupid place for a damn highway.
I mean, look at these tracks. Look at these tracks right here. Who the hell would do it? Look at this track right here.
Okay, whose idea was it to put the highway there?
Maybe it was a shortcut on the GPS, you know. Shortest way home. You know?
He was using his Google Maps and it sent him in the wrong direction.
Turn.
There you go. Turn right here? Okay.
Okay, so have you guys seen the this is like totally all over the news right now. The Nasser, the guy in court, the Olympic doctor.
Oh no.
Oh no! The guy that like attacked somebody, eh?
Yeah, the father of two girls attacked. This has been playing nonstop on mainstream television news all day today, and I want you guys to tell me. I'll play it in slow motion. You guys tell me if you think this is staged. All right, I'll unmute it so you can hear what he says. If you don't know, he asked the judge for 5 minutes alone. 5 minutes alone.
Go ahead, sir. In a courtroom, we don't use profanity, but if you have some words that you would like to say, I would like to give you the opportunity to say them.
I want to ask you to, as part of the sentencing, to grant me 5 minutes in the locker room, this demon.
I have a feeling
that.
that is not how our. No, sir, I can't
Would
do
you give me
that.
1 minute?
You know that I can't do that. That's not how our legal system works.
Give me 1 minute without. What if this happened to you guys?
Okay. What do you think?
I think it's staged. For one thing, why did the camera cut there? I mean, he was on the ground, and then suddenly he's standing up, and they're hauling him away.
See what his shirt says?
Yeah, Lansing, Michigan. Local 665.
You know what that is right there?
A hand on his shoulder?
This circle insignia patch on the back of his shirt.
Oh, your mouse for me is going over the guy's hand, not the pen.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
I don't know why you're saying that. This is the International Brotherhood of Electrical Workers.
Oh, what the hell?
The International Brotherhood of Electrical Workers.
Oh, is that some kind of Freemasonic thing or something like that?
Yes.
Oh God.
It's a union. It's an electricians union. So anyway.
Yeah, so it must be staged if the Masons are involved, you know. Because all they do is acting. It's just.
You're not going to believe what the gematria of Lansing, Michigan is.
What?
44 in full reduction, which is the kill number. 55 in reverse reduction, which is a rather significant number. Let's see, 332 in Francis Bacon with all caps. 93 in Jewish ordinal. 413 in satanic. I don't have some of the reverse ciphers here because I'm in the original gematrinator.
Well, I think that these things are all just a type of theater that gets on, you know, be it real or fake. Like up here in Canada right now, there's this big story about how this landscaper has been killing gay people, and he's been burying them, say like he's filling in a pool. He's been burying all these bodies, and like they went into his house and they found all these heads in his potted plants. And that's like a big theater operation going on right now in Canada. I think that's how half this stuff is, be it real or fake.
But you guys, have you seen something very special about all these events? What do they have in common? All these terror attacks or hoax events, or they have something in common?
They're distractions.
No. Oh yes, of course they're distractions from something else, but there's something much more important. Every single time they're changing the laws because of this.
Yeah.
That is the real reason why they do it. Every single time they're changing the law system. Because I was checking up and I didn't find one incident that the laws didn't change after an event. So that's why they do it. It's not just for theater and not for show, because the Freemasons, they are very religious cult, you know. And they do this stuff for a reason. They don't want to waste time and money on something just to make a distraction. They do it to change the law system in that country. And that is very nefarious, you know. Because you have laws that are, you know.
It's a form of manufactured consent.
Yes, exactly. Because they can change the laws and then they can say, oh, it was because of this event.
Yep.
Yeah.
And they do it every time, you know. And it's not small law changes. It's big ones. This evening, I saw 2 military drones now flying over here at night, you know. And before they had sound, but now there was completely silent. And it's a full moon, clear night, and it's not a puff of wind. And there was absolutely silent.
Maybe they were using electrogravitics.
I don't know what they're using, but because before they're so big, they make helicopter sound, you know, because they have a rotor on top. It can be another type, you know, but they was absolutely silent. It was not, when planes are going over here, you can hear them very loudly, you know, even So it's just, you know. Barack Obama, he was changing the law so you can use American drones anywhere in the world, but these are Norwegian drones. So the law system been changed, you know.
So when you say Norwegian drones, are we talking like the same similar kind of drones that America has? Like they're literally the size of an airplane? Or are you talking small drones?
No, smaller. They are like maybe 3 meters long, something like that. But they are fully armed, you know. So it's a small drone comparing to Predator drones or something like that. They're getting bigger all the time. It's like a Cessna, you know. But these are smaller, but they are armed. Because when they was testing them 2 years ago, this is AA drones. Autonomous artificial intelligent drones, and these drones, they started to shoot back, you know, at the military here, and they was testing them out 2 years ago.
Scary stuff.
Yeah, and they're using them all the time now, and they even have the nerve. The reason why I see them in the night, because they have this blinking lights, you know, like planes need to have, you know, this this white flashing light on, strobes on.
And so what are they using them for now? They just are they just getting people used to the idea of having, you know, something in the sky that can look at you and shoot you if it wants to?
No, they have another reason. It's the laws here have suddenly changed. Now it's illegal to drive to your cabin if it's not over 2.5 kilometers from the road. So you get a big ticket, you know. Police is going, for driving with an ATV or for a snowmobile, you know, or so it's illegal now. And these drones, they will go and they will film you and they will identify you, and you will get a ticket straight in the mail.
Wait, you're saying that in Norway it's illegal to drive a ATV or snowmobile? What did you say?
Yeah, now it's they changed the rules now just a few months ago.
So now you have to be within 2 miles of a roadway?
No, you need to have the cabin need to be 2.5 kilometers from a normal road. Then it's so far away you can go. But most of the cabins are nearer, you know, because 2.5 kilometers is like 2 miles. So
in other words, if you have a cabin that's very, very remote, then you're allowed to drive off road that far.
Yeah, you're allowed if you no, you're not allowed to drive, but you can get permission to drive.
It sounds like Agenda 21 type stuff that we're getting done over here to us.
Yep.
Oh yeah, it's the same agenda everywhere, but they're doing it in different places, you know, to check how people react, you know. In California, they're burning out people with drones. They are flying drones, and they, you know, they're changing up. It's beta testing. If they're reacting, if they're accepting this, because the drone technology with these phones and all these small civilian drones, this was just to get it popular, to make people accept them, you know, to love them. Oh, so nice to have a drone. I can film in HD, you know, with this flying. And now the military coming with their stuff, you know. And these drones are autonomous. It's not only artificial intelligent drones. They're finding out because they're following snowmobile tracks in the mountains. It's just crazy stuff, you know. And to drive snowmobile, a lot of it, huh?
Oh, I was just going to say, how ever we let them get to this point where they can push these crazy laws on us, you know what I mean? Like,
people don't know anything about the lodge system, you know. And they don't want to know. They're just, you know, people are stupid. They want to be stupid because it's the lodges. Everything is coming from the lodge system. Everything.
Yep.
It's just,
Very true.
it's just crazy. And now they want to subjugate people. And I mean it, subjugate people. And to use drones like that, you have nothing to you can't run from them because they're so fast. And the law here say if you're driving a snowmobile, you need to have the license plate so it's showing from the air.
Oh, wow.
And everyone is driving around with a GPS, with a smartphone. And that smartphone is identifying you.
Yeah,
and the drone, they have built-in facial recognition. So this is a flying tax system.
Well, it's hard to recognize someone's face when they're wearing a helmet.
No, but everyone have a smartphone. It doesn't matter.
Yeah, that's true.
They're sending the ticket to the person who owns the snowmobile, and he need to go himself down to the police and say that it was stolen to get away. And then it's, you know, he's in deep shit anyway. And the tickets, you know how much it's costing if you get stopped here? It's 18,000 crowns, and that is about $2,000.
Holy shit!
Oh my God!
Yes. Now you can see why they have drones here. $2,000 a pop, you know, and that is if you don't do anything other thing illegal, you know.
Who would have thought enslaving humanity would be so profitable?
Oh yeah. Well, it seems that they're rolling out different aspects of this worldwide. So, like, one country will have like the crazy stuff we have here in Canada with like the gender bender type shit, where you can get arrested, you can get sent to jail if you misgender someone. So if you don't know if it's a guy or a girl what you're talking to, but now there's 54 genders, you can get sent to jail here now over this kind of crazy shit.
That's so insane.
Oh, it's just ridiculous. Like, these people brought in Justin Trudeau to legalize weed, but the first thing he did, he still hasn't legalized the weed. What he's done is he's instituted all these psychotic progressive new laws where now it's okay to film yourself having sex with animals, and you can sell it online. That was the first main law Justin Trudeau put out, was the bestiality law.
Glory.
And it was his main accomplishment for over a year, according to him and the Liberals.
Wow,
that's an accomplishment.
Yeah, that's super awesome. You can have sex with animals and post it online, but don't you dare take that snowmobile off road.
See, that's the point we're reaching now. You know, like, how did it even get to this point? Like, and then you have these politicians, and they just all buy into it. Like, kids can now be taken away from families in Ontario. If you say your 4-year-old wants to become a girl, and you say, no, Timmy, you can't become a girl, you're a boy. If Timmy goes to the teacher and says, my dad's not letting me come Stacy, he wants me to stay Timmy, the teacher can file a complaint, and they can take that child from you.
Yep. You'll get a knock on the door for CPS.
I do not consent. But I'll be happy to comply if you prove I am subject.
Well, you've asked the question twice, Gandalf. How did we get to this point? Because the majority are fucking retarded. They're flat out retarded.
But the Masonry have been secret all the time. That is the biggest reason. People, before I started to investigate Freemasonry, I knew nothing about it.
Right.
Nada, nothing. All my life. Freemasonry have just been a, you know, boys club, you know. It's just, but they was inviting me, you know, in a big hotel, you know, in Stavanger, in the oil city here, inviting me to be a member, you know, and I declined them, and that pissed them off, you know.
Wait, I thought to be a Mason you have to know somebody, and you have to request, you have to You don't get invited to be a Mason. You have to ask them to be a Mason. I thought that was the rule.
Yeah, but my colleague, he is 33 degree. So it's just Masonry is just the biggest problem is because it's secret. Everything is secret, and that is why it's not just because people are stupid. Of course, now they need to be because the rules are so crazy, you know. But the biggest problem with Freemasonry is because it's secret and no one knows anything. In Norway, you see, in your country, they are wearing rings and stuff because they come so far, you know. They're so successful. They have insignias on the clothing or a pin, you know, or you know, something like that. In Norway, it's nothing. My sister is high up in Eastern Stars.
Really?
Yeah. You don't have so good relationship after I find that out.
I bet.
Yeah.
That would concern me.
I even saved her life, you know. Her heart stopped, you know.
And she went and joined a secret society.
Yeah, she was taking this education, you know, as a physiotherapist, and then they took her in, you know, because they do that to everyone. If you take education, they know you're gonna have an education that you have something to say or something, little bit up, you know. They will start to fish after you, you know. And you will not get a job if you're not a Mason, you know. It's just, you know, they're sitting and controlling everything because I could see at my workplace, you know, something was completely wrong, you know, because all the wrong persons get the best jobs on land. I was working offshore, you know, and that is different because it's about how much you know, and you need to do a very good job all the time. But on land, all the most evil, stupidest people, they get promoted up. And all the biggest liars. So something needed to be wrong. And of course, it's Freemasonry. It always was.
I can say for sure that irrespective of ideology, origin, lineage, affiliation, or allegiance, the people in charge on this planet are psychopaths. Because...
Or they become psychopaths, Amy,
well,
because
yes,
that is what Freemasonry is about.
Well,
in the beginning, everything is so nice, but they learn to lie, and everything else is coming on, you know.
Yeah, well, the thing is that what you have is you have your primary psychopaths who are at the very top. They are the ones that are genetically psychopathic, and there is no option for them to feel any compassion and love and all that.
No.
But then you have your secondary psychopaths that are, they learn their psychopathic behavior. And in a society run by primary psychopaths, you're going to have a lot of secondary psychopathy cropping up. So
yeah, but it's so strange because I've been watching this without knowing it, you know. Since my sister is high in Freemasonry, her husband is too, you know. And the strange thing is his friends, because I was in her birthday, 50th birthday, you know. And all these friends there, everyone is homosexual, because Freemasonry is a homosexual cult, you know. And they're all homos now.
Yeah.
It wasn't before. They have kids. They have 3 kids, you know, and now they get a kid from Afghanistan, a 12-year-old. And what is popular in Afghanistan? To have a boy dress up like a girl, and everyone is raping him, you know. So now they have a kid like that. He's not even adopted. You were saying that in Canada, Gandalf, that you have so sick rules, you know. You know what you have here? After the kids services take away the kids, they are giving them to people who are paid to have them. And they paid so much they don't need to work anymore, just to have the kids.
Wow.
But they are owned by the state, and almost every one of them is medicated. So this is a business here. A lot of my friends have kids now, and I'm asking them, did you adopt these kids? No, because then they're not getting the money, and it's big money. $5,000 a month, you know.
Jeez.
Yeah. And they're doing it for the money, you know. They don't understand what they're doing. But they're taking in the kids, and every one of them is medicated, you know, with Ritalin or with something else, you know. And if they don't want to have the kid, because a friend of mine it's not his son, you know. He just have him there. And this kid is 11 or 12 years old, and he tried to commit suicide, you know. So I was asking him, I was concerned, you know, I was asking him, how is it going with this son of yours, you know? He's saying, oh, it's so hard now, he wanted to commit suicide. Maybe I change him to another one.
Wait, what?
Wow.
He can change him out, you know.
Jeez.
Isn't this evil?
Say that again. Say that again, Nils.
Yeah. He was saying he can change him out. He can send him back and get another kid, you know. He have 4 cars now, 4 snowmobiles. And he was buying this cabin for 800,000 crowns, you know. It's over $100,000, you know. And he's not married, of course, but his girlfriend, she's not working, and he is working 50%.
So what was he complaining about? That the kid wouldn't do what?
Yeah, the kid was trying to commit suicide. You know, these kids, they are getting screwed up in the head because they have parents originally, but they are taken away from the parents and given to someone else who have them just for money.
I'm sorry, you were breaking up. At least for me, you were breaking up a little bit. Did you say the kid was trying to commit suicide?
Yes.
Yes.
And
did you say this is your brother who said?
No, it's not my brother. It's my ex-friend of mine. I know him all my life.
Okay.
It's just heartbreaking. But these people, they look at these kids as income,
property.
Yeah, and no one wants to adopt them. They don't want to adopt the kids they have, because then they need to pay for the kids. They get paid so much every month, and they get the vacation paid for. They go to meetings with this state, you know, to learn how to deal with the kids, you know. It's just...
Wow.
It's just heartbreaking to see, but it's a business now. I can count, you know, my hand. I live in a small community here, and almost everyone have 1 or 2 kids like that now. It's just, you know, and this is Freemasonry for you. It's just so evil. You can't doing this to kids, you know, and especially telling them that we are not your parent. You belong to the state. And I was shocked, you know. Telling that to a girl, you know, is just, she's 10 years old, you know. You're not your parents. You belong to the state. Her mother is in Portugal. It's just...
Man, you're breaking...
And these are my former friends, you know. Of course, they're pissed off because I told them, you know, what I think about this business they have going on. This is Norway now. Becoming to be evil, you know, really evil.
The whole world is, I mean, there are different problems in different places, and you put the whole together, and this is not the planet I want. I want a better planet.
No, but this makes sense, you know, it's in my family, and they love it. They love this lifestyle, you know. They see nothing wrong with it at all. They think they're good, you know.
Oh.
It's just, it's you want to throw up, you know. Everyone who have it, no one of them is regretting, you know. One of my friends was regretting when this kid wanted to commit suicide, you know. He just regretted because he was doing that. He just wanted to change him out, you know.
Yeah, it sounded like he only regretted picking the wrong kid.
Yes. And they're telling the kids that they are not their parents. They will never... Aaron, would you take in a kid without adopting this kid?
Would I take in a kid without adopting him?
Yeah, if just for money, you know, if you get paid to do it. If someone was giving you $2,000 a month, you know, without tax, this income is not taxable, you know. Would you do it, you know? And tell them, you know, that you are not their father, you know.
Maybe. I mean, the circumstance, you know, that's a loaded, very, very loaded question. I'm not beyond helping people, and you can certainly ask Amy to testify to that.
Absolutely.
But these kids have parents. They're not. The parents didn't die. You're not helping the kids. They're ruining the kids. Of course, some kids have it okay, you know. But the only thing, they're doing it just for the money, you know. Everyone knows that it's costing a lot of money to have kids, you know. But these guys is just, you know, when you make it the income to use the system to like that, it's just, and it's ruining the kids, you know. The kids are getting problems and they're getting on medication, and it's just what they want to do, you know. Get them medicated and get them screwed up for life, you know. If they kill themselves, fine. Just find another one. Another friend of mine I haven't seen in a while, he was calling to me, and they took all their kids, you know. And she's from Germany, so they want to hire lawyers from Germany. And I said to him, just be careful, because this is Freemasonry, and the lawyers in Germany is probably Freemasons too. They will just rack you up with a big payment, and you will be sitting there, you know, without the kids and a big loan. This is the agenda, you know. It's not wrong or right anymore. It's just make money.
That's why I want to get rid of money.
Yeah, but you know, Amy, everyone can have, you know, good intentions, but the problem we have, these guys are not going away.
Well, I understand that, but if we get rid of money, we remove the main tool. I'm really the only tool that they have to power.
If you was a threat, Amy, they will put a 9 mil in your head.
I'm sure. I'm fully aware that might be an outcome at some point, and I'm not worried about it because I don't fear that. I refuse to have any fear. But the point is, if enough of us stood up and said, we don't consent to doing it this way, we're going to do it this other way, what are they going to do? If enough of us
but people are happy with this system.
Some people are. There's a lot of people who are not.
But you know, but they are very few, I mean. They are very few and far between. You know.
I disagree.
It's not helping at all. You know.
I think the problem is most of the people don't know they have a choice. Don't know that they can stand up and say no more. I'm going off and doing it this way.
Well,
not that way.
I think it's just more people would if more people would talk to each other like we're doing right now, I think that's the most essential thing that could happen right now. I've noticed for the longest time, like, what do you guys think? Like, it just seems that there's been this mass disassociation of different people, like the bigger truther channels. It's all about just getting comments, and most of these guys don't even interact with anyone. It's just this, it's kind of like Facebook, where it's just this narcissistic trip all these guys are on.
Yeah, it's another side of this. It's loving yourself all the time, you know.
Yeah, and it's well, it just seems that all these people care about is themselves. You know, nobody cares about, like, people have been talking about the same issues for years, but nobody actually. You know, I think that the best thing to do is like organize different things. You know, just network with each other more often. That's the key to this whole problem that we're in right now.
Well, that would certainly help, but we also have to stop consenting to these people, saying no.
I think at some point, guys, this will happen because you see the development, yeah, and you see how it's ramping up, and it will be a breaking point, and then people will start to organize. Really. Because now we are sitting and discussing it. You are very bright. You have been digging in this sewer, you know, for a long time. But other people, they don't know anything. They don't want to know anything. But when shit hits the fan, you know, I think people will start to organize because they will have no choice, because everyone, including Freemasonry, will be in the sling, you know. Yeah, including them, because they are living in the same society and they will not be exempt. They're just going around believing, because they was up till now, you know, they've been getting contracts and money and everything good as long as they do what they're told, you know. But at some point they will be going to, you know, they will not be spared. But people will be angry when they find out, because I will tell them, you know, who is to blame. I will tell them exactly. And I will get the list of the names, you know, in the lodges here. They will be on my list, you know.
Well, I'm not sure that there's going to ever be, honestly, some type of massive breakdown that occurs. I think that it's just going to be this incremental loss of rights. We're going to just continue to be, you know, it's just going to be fear, and they're just going to continue to ramp up these insane laws. I think that they need this system to perpetuate itself in order to control.
But think about this, what I'm saying now. China have been investing in Canada and investing in America in companies that have solar panels, solar energy companies. They have been investing in ports. They have been investing in real estate, and they have been buying up. America now have, I think, 21 trillion in they owe to the Federal Reserve. And China have been buying up a lot of this debt, you know. What do you think they're going to do with that? When you know that Walton, you know, the Walton family that is owning Walmart, Walton's job, he is deceased now, but Walton's job under the Second World War, he was the head of security for all the internment camps in America. You think that is a coincidence? All the logistic structure in Walmart are in Chinese